Welcome to downtown Graham. Today we're going to give you a brief overview of the history here along with modern day. This is my husband, Stephen Harveus. He actually grew up in Graham and is just going to give you a few snippets of what childhood looked like.
My parents moved there, I think, when I was 2 years old, and I grew up there until I was 16, and I loved Greenway Park. Greenway Park was super influential for me growing up because it's not only where all my friends lived as well, but what Graham was. The neighbors, I remember literally weekly calling us, hey, can we borrow some sugar? They would walk over to the house, grab things from us, we'd grab things from them. I grew up, there was a creek right behind our house, and we grew up in the creek, all the kids playing together, literally throwing ball outside every single day.
And I think too in that neighborhood, like even if people didn't have kids, they embraced you guys. I remember just running into a few of your old neighbors and just saying, Stephen and Christopher, you know.
Or wild.
Yeah. So I know we talked about like what life looked like growing up in Graham, but I oftentimes remember you saying you would ride your bike from your house on Town Branch Road and come to downtown Graham. What would you do down here?
So I grew up not far from here, right behind Graham High School. And as a young boy, I would ride my bike up here all the time. And a lot of times we would come up here to get orangeades at the soda shop. And we really enjoyed that.
Even us, we've came back to downtown Graham a few times on the weekends, and there's always an event happening here. There's car shows. I know they just had the Summer Fest, which was like for children and families, lots of water events. You can ride or walk to downtown Graham. It's a safe place to live. It's a great community. There's always so many community activities going on here.
I think when you can build a community and build that culture to bring people together, it just stands out tremendously. And I wish other cities would do things like this for the community because I think it's such a good way to bring people together. We went this year to a lot of the Southern football games and stuff like that, and my kids loved it. I felt 100% safe to let my kids run around the whole field at 5 years old. And to me, that's what a community's about, is feeling safe, feeling protective, but also
people
feeling embraced.
People watching out after your other kids too.
People you don't even know watching out after our kids at the football game. So I think that's what makes not only Graham special, but any small hometown.
Getting ready to go into the Commissary. It is a new coffee shop in downtown Graham. We've seen it posted on social media, but we haven't even been through the front door yet. So come along with us. We're gonna grab a coffee. Hi. Good, how are you? Tell us the story.
We're a nonprofit for veterans.
Love that.
We are now expanding to first responders as well.
Okay.
And so we opened the coffee shop to bring in additional awareness and revenue that goes right back into the organization.
I love
so
that.
So this is the nonprofit's coffee shop. Everything that we're doing is a different product, a different look, a different take on things. So like, for example, we're serving traditional Puerto Rican style coffee, which uses like an old-fashioned Italian espresso pot. So the whole pot is espresso, but it's not burnt bitter. We don't do lattes, we don't do macchiatos, we don't do what I call frou-frou coffee. You don't come here for your pump shot of hazelnut and French vanilla. This is just real good old-fashioned coffee.
Tell me what motivated you to do all this.
So I did 12 years in the Army, and after I came back from Afghanistan years ago, I started thinking of the idea of just ways to help veterans more than we were getting at the time, and then over the years that more than what we're getting now. So without going down that rabbit hole, which is an easy target, the VA is tricky.
Right.
A lot of veterans don't go.
Right.
So in general, about 50% of all the veterans who are eligible go to the VA. And then our generation of any veteran who's served after September 11th, that number drops to only about 30% of veterans get help from the VA.
Wow.
So there's this huge gap where literally millions of veterans don't get help. And so it just hit me that there's more that can and should be done and what to land on as our way to both make an impact, but then not just treat the symptoms, which is where a lot of programs end up, but to actually address some of the root causes and the issues and the things that we feel and experience inside, which is why we landed on the animals, because it truly then both compels us to deal a little bit with what we've experienced and what we feel. And then it also brings a little bit more of the healing in the process, because animals are amazing. So we have a farm here in Alamance County, about 20 or 25 minutes south of Graham.
Okay.
And there on the farm, we do our equine program where we teach horsemanship
Oh.
to veterans and first responders because it's very therapeutic.
Yeah, it is.
And then our canine program, like our canine battle buddies, we have a little piece there on the wall. We rescue dogs from animal shelters. We train them at a therapy dog foundational level, and then we adopt them out to veterans and first responders as what we call battle buddies.
How cool is that?
It's super cool.
Yeah, that is
It
amazing.
fun. So
That's such a purposeful life.
it's a lot of work, but it's
Yeah.
good stuff.
We are in downtown Graham. We just walked into Green and McClure. We're going to interview Griffin. He's going to give us a brief history of just his family, owning a business in downtown Graham. What does it look like to grow up here? And just sort of why you love living here too.
Absolutely. Do love Graham, have lived here all my life. Fourth generation business owner of where we stand. This business opened in 1907, so we're proudly celebrating 117 years of direct father-son handoff. So we have a retail home furnishing business. We have about 25,000 square feet here downtown Graham. We love being part of the city center of our county seat. We're about 50 yards from the courthouse and we're less than a mile off the interstate. So we love our accessibility. We have about 7 or 8 restaurants within the first block of the courthouse. So we've got a lot going on.
So what are the things that you guys love to do in downtown Graham on the
Just
weekends?
walk. I mean, the walkability of this downtown is, we're lucky enough to live less than a couple blocks from here. My family walks up here weekends, mornings, coffee, bakeries, those kind of things. We like going to ice cream. Wits over here, the frozen custard. We've got ice cream up the block here. We go to Forgotten Road Ales. They have a nice outdoor area, shaded, but the kids can run around and do different things, and
You can relax.
we can relax,
Yeah.
so that's good. And everything's, you know, you park in one place and bounce around. And as you said, we've got a lot of musical events that go on. We have concert series put on by Alamance Arts, put on by our Recs and Parks department, just in the street. I mean, last weekend we had what's called Slice of Summer, where they just lay out a big water slide down Main Street, and it's a really cool, if you've never been to that, that's not like anything else in the county. So we've got some artists that have done some murals and things that we're really proud of.
And that really just helps to promote downtown Graham. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's not on a weekly basis. I get on Instagram or Facebook and just see families or kids like in front of the Love Graham sign or in front of the beautiful murals. Like that added such a great touch to just brand and bring people down here.
If you're talking about raising kids here, look at our parks, our walkability, our city centers where you can go and spend a day in a real authentic environment. I think you get a feel here, and I hope the families will get a feel of belonging. And you see things different when you have kids, and that's a whole different lens to look through, and it's fun as I age and I see it happen with my kids at 8 and 10. You know, you see these things through their eyes now, the things you saw when we were growing up, and you know, I think that's why we're so appealing for families to come to this area.
It's a great community to live in, for sure.
I believe it.
Yeah. Today we toured Green and McClure, a local furniture store. We went to the Commissary, which is a brand new coffee shop, veteran focused in downtown Graham. We went to Over Yonder, which is going to be one of my favorite new stores. And we also visited Steve's Garden Market and Smokehouse and had a delicious lunch. We truly love living in Graham. It's nestled in the heart of Alamance County. It's a great place to raise your children, bring them out to the local events, walk down the streets, get your pictures taken in some of the murals, grab ice cream, grab a date night dinner, whatever it may be. Graham is truly just an overall great place to be.